Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle for another stream on the channel, and it's match preview, Steve. It's the last one before Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope everyone has a great Christmas. Hopefully Santa brings you a nice 3 points for Boxing Day for Leicester fans. And Steve, how are we, mate? You in the festive spirit already?
No. But for this segment, I'll say yes, very much so. I'm looking forward to Christmas. It's going to be incredible. We're going to win every game.
Well, as Imran once, what did Imran say on Blue Tinted Glasses about 10 minutes ago? He said something about Leicester getting promoted. I mean, I don't know how close we are going to be to that. We've got more chance of bloody points deductions and promotions, I'd say. But yeah, welcome everyone. We have got a jam-packed show to get through where we do like to discuss putting both camps, recent games, and this weekend, well, Friday, we play Watford on Boxing Day. Leicester's record on Boxing Day is very pleasing, not. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game at the KP. Let's see who's in. Phil, how are we? Kyle, Alawa. Jack's probably forgotten chilling out watching Christmas films. No, I'm waiting for Steve. I needed backup because I had 3 Watford fans at once, and yeah, I just couldn't handle it, mate. They all surrounded me and they all shouted Dini and me, and yeah, did it really? We were nice as pie. Paul, happy Christmas, mate. Should we get the boys in?
Sure.
It's the Do Not Scratch Your Eyes podcast. So let's get them in. Where should we start? I'll get Justin in first. Justin, how are we, mate?
Good, mate. All good. You all right?
I'm all right. So you brought the Christmas cavalry together, have we, for tonight's show?
Yeah, we like to come mob-handed, mate. That's what we do.
There we go, then. Here we go. Pete, how are we, Pete?
Oh, yeah, very good, thank you. Very good. Merry Christmas, etc.
Yeah, have a good Christmas, mate.
I've gone for the blue background. I thought I'd just kind of smooth in there.
If you want to be a Leicester fan, mate, for the show, then or you can be a bit of both, mate. You can wear blue and yellow if you want and play
That's our third kit he's got there. That's our third kit he's
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. How are we, Aggie? Hope you well, mate. Have a good Christmas, mate. Nice to have a home game on Boxing Day. It's nice to have a home game, but I don't know about how this one's going to go down, to be fair. But
well, it makes a change from having like Liverpool three times in the Premier League in a row, doesn't it? You know, being at home.
Well, it does, doesn't it? It's a bit one of them now where we're back in the Championship again. Where did we go last Boxing Day, Steve?
Liverpool. It was the foggiest I've ever seen. Yeah, we couldn't see the other half of the pitch.
Yeah, and then the Boxing Day before that was Ipswich, I'm going to say.
Yeah. And then Liverpool again before that.
Yeah, we seem to have a bit of thing when we play Liverpool. But boys, how are we then? How are you finding life under Gracia again? Obviously, come back to the club. He's not forgot his PIN code into the training ground and that.
Is the Gracia greener over there?
Is it?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, he's come in. He's doing a job. Look, we're a club that obviously loves to change managers. We know that. That's that's no secret. But I think pretty much across the board, everyone's pleased to see him come back. You know, in terms of what he did with us previously, we'll skirt over the FA Cup final, but everything above and beyond that was excellent. You know, a comfortable finish in the Premier League, and we went on a bit of a journey with him. He probably got sacked a little bit before his time, first time round. Again, not unusual at Watford. but yeah, he's come in and steadied the ship. I don't think there's many Watford supporters this season that were looking for much more than that. To be brutally honest, I don't think there was many of us sort of saying we're going to get promoted and so forth. So we are where we are, and that's it. Sometimes we couldn't keep a ball out of a net if we tried, but other times you see flashes of what he used to do. So yeah, it's good. It's good to have him back, and long may that continue for at least 6 months.
Justin, where can everyone find the podcast around YouTube, Spotify, and that?
Yes. So YouTube is something that we're doing a lot more of this season. So we are on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on anywhere you can get a podcast. Twitter, we're on TikTok. We're sort of like omnipresent. Just look up. Do not scratch your eyes. There will be a video that you might recognize if you do that. After you do that, then you'll find us, the podcast.
Yeah, Leicester fans, just put a blindfold on. You don't have to watch the video, but you know how the words go in the moment. Yeah. Every time it's on Sky Sports, you just hear the word Dino. It's like, oh, for God's sake, how many times do you want to keep putting this on every year?
We're not putting it on. We're not saying to Sky Sports, could you play that again? That's them choosing to do it, by the way. We like watching it, but it's not our decision.
It's iconic, though, isn't it? It's up there as one of the best. It is. As a football fan, I know you. For you guys, no, not so much. But,
no, not so much.
But it's an iconic bit of football.
It's an iconic one for Watford fans. You obviously still sell merchandise for it to this day. Even though more so that we sell Abdul Fattah cups for scoring a 70-yarder goal, but you've got to obviously find something special as a moment in a football club, haven't you? And obviously clubs know how to pick them. And I think is it selling well every year? The merchandise, the socks, what you got, t-shirts.
No, that was a couple of years ago when they started doing a few bits. It's not as omnipresent as using.
Oh, is it not?
No, that's all sort of died off.
Is it just an anniversary thing? Is it or?
Yeah,
it's not even that.
It come out for the 10-year, didn't it? I think.
Yeah, it came out for the 10-year in 2023. But to be honest with you, it's kind of moved on a bit. It's just us with our podcast name. To be honest with you. And obviously every time it's played on Sky, but apart from that, it's kind of we've moved on. You need to as well. You need to heal. Just move on. It's done. It's know.
It was Premier League, European football, FA Cup. That'll help you.
Yeah. To be honest, I would go through that moment 100 times out of 100 just because of what we achieved afterwards. So you know, and to be fair, I remember looking back the day after and just going, fair play, because it wasn't a penalty. It was a dive, and you know, it was the worst dive I've seen from a Leicester player for a very long time.
You know, he obviously got just desserts for it by missing the penalty.
He always gets a warm welcome whenever he comes back to the Vic as well,
particularly by Miguel Britos.
Yeah,
when he was
right, he basically took him out of the knee. Basically, it was yes.
But Dini and Knockhart are friends, aren't they, Pete? Is that what we heard somewhere, that Knockhart and Dini are friends?
Yeah. They were gonna do a sort of a reenactment about it. But what happened? As Steve was saying there, you know, kind of obviously great things followed on from that.
Yeah.
The year after, what Watford fans still remember, and we talked to Troy about this. He was asked to go on Sky and do like a walkthrough on the pitch, and he was like, "Oh, I don't think this is a good idea." You know, we know what's going to happen. We played, or the powers that be played that particular goal. The following year, you came and gubbed us 3-0 and went up under bit. Yeah, he may well have done. I was too busy crying through my hands at the time. It was just like, you know, you do not poke the bear or the fox in this particular instance.
Well,
the following year, because any Leicester players warming up, looking up at that must have, you know, that was motivation done and dusted at that point. And you went on and did good things. So, you know, fair play.
We did. Yeah, I remember the day at the playoff second leg over there, and turned the back to the penalty, and the fans started celebrating, thinking, "Oh, good play, he scored." You know, when you're a kid and that, you just look at him, think yeah, when you start running at the other end, I'm thinking, oh bloody hell, don't bloody do that. I remember Doncaster and Brentford the
week before.
Same
game
year.
before,
Yeah,
was
week
it
before, yeah.
Brentford hit the crossbar and then Doncaster ran at the other end and scored? I'm thinking, surely Leicester and Watford can't go and reenact something of similar. And then it obviously happened. And in the
Were you
circumstances,
17?
you are
16, 17? Were you 16, 17 back then?
me.
Yeah.
I would have been 2013, so 12 years off my age, about 16, yeah.
I was 39. Move on. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Now, like, God, I was mid-20s.
16. Yeah, but yeah, great things followed, and the rest is history. And we need to move on.
In the 80s, there was a fantastic goal scored at Vicarage Road by Glenn Hoddle, where he gets and he basically dinks the ball over. He sends a defender, I think it's Wolf Rostrum, one way, turns and basically just lifts the ball into the far side of the net over Steve Sherwood. And the BBC play it once, they play it 1,500 times. I don't like it when I see that, so I can understand why you're not going to like that. Obviously,
it's
for
annoying,
us,
isn't it?
Yeah, for us, it, as a moment, everybody says it, even though it never paid off because Wembley wasn't, was very a damp squib. For that moment, as crystallised for us, I can understand why you don't like it, but then again, you've gone on to have.
I love it.
Everything that's followed after. So, fair play.
It's football, isn't it? There you go.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some, and
exactly.
it's great when you obviously get them moments, and it as a fan, and that's what football's about, isn't it? Special moments and that, and seeing goals and just enjoying yourself, really. When you're on the good thing of it, it's fantastic. But when you're on the other end of it, it's just like, nah, not so much. Football's a bit of in between. That's why we love it. It's why we go and follow our team every week. We just don't know what's going to happen or what's going to unfold. What's been your thoughts on your season so far, Justin? You've obviously had the manager. I mean, what did he last? 3 months in charge, and then you've obviously brought in Gracia, and you seem to be far better than what you were before. What sort of went wrong at the start with the manager? Because it sort of got claimed that the players didn't want to play for him, and that it just didn't really go as planned. But then obviously you bring Gracia back, and you've sort of turned a corner a lot more.
Yeah, I don't know if we've turned a corner. It was bizarre. I think Pezzolano upset a lot of people in the training ground. I don't think the fans warmed to him particularly. There was some very strange social media that went out of him sort of berating the team. Yeah. And we got wind of the fact that he was going to be asked to leave after he'd got 7 out of 9 points. It was all a bit bizarre. Grazia's come in. I mean, has the football improved? That's debatable. The results are not too bad, I think. We are where we are, but it's been a strange old season really so far. But it always is when you're a Watford fan. It's kind of up and down, and will Grazia see the season out? I don't know. It's you never know when you're a Watford fan what's going to go on with managers. It's okay. It's all right. We're average-ish. It's lots of draws at the moment. Nice win in our last game. But yeah, who knows? Coming to you is probably going to end all that. I don't know. It's Watford. I don't know.
It is. Pete, looking at Watford's players, Imran Loser, very good player, by the way. I mean, I'd sign him for Leicester, to be honest, because I honestly think a lot of the Championship sides at the top end of the table are obviously looking at Imran Loser. He's had a fantastic start. I know he's been at Watford a few years now, hasn't he? But he seems to be more in the limelight this season. And he seems to be the player that probably gets the most plaudits. What's been your thoughts on him? Because obviously a lot of teams will sniff around him, how well he is doing. With him and other players, which other players would you actually pick out apart from obviously Loser and how good he is this season?
The thing with Loser, he's coming to the end of his first 5 years with us, and in the first couple of years, he was good. But the first year was in the Premier League, and he couldn't get close. He couldn't get past the likes of Etienne Capoue or Doucouré, who at the time were basically kind of filling out the midfield area. He'd come on, and he got some class, but he was quite young. He'd only ever lived in Nantes his entire life, so I think he was quite sort of. He had to kind of come in, learn English football, etc. Didn't really work that well. and he went off on loan to Lorient in back in northern France, and they got relegated, and he did not do well. He came back, and Tom Cleverley was our manager, another player. Obviously, both our clubs enjoyed a loan spell, and then he came back to us again fantastically, and then was the manager of, and he got him going, past the standards that he'd shown previously. He was absolutely motivated, and he's now really the senior player. He is almost the de facto captain. We've got Moussa Sissoko, who's a waste of space, quite frankly, who he was the captain, but he comes on for 5-minute cameos at the end now. Pretty much that's all he does. And it is Loser, who is absolutely running the midfield. He's a real sort of box to box player, or he can play literally anywhere across that midfield. Before he came to us, we knew how versatile he was, but it's not like he plays in one place. He gets around, providing he's got somebody covering for him. This season, he's had Hector Cipriano, who will sit and hold and let him go and get involved. It'll be interesting to see quite who we will have in terms of those other players, because we've got a number of number 10s or wingers, depending on quite where they're put out, who would kind of give you those kind of Fatawu moments, to name a very good player indeed. Like him a lot. But we've got wingers wingers / number 10. So you've got Georgie Chakfatadze, who again is a very good player in the Championship, but probably fails to deliver the end product in terms of assists and goals that his play kind of would dictate. The latest one, because of injuries to Kwadwo Bar and to Rocco Vata, who were playing right and left sided, respectively, in a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2, whichever you like. They're both out at the moment, although there was suggestions from tweets made today that maybe Kwadwo Bar might be coming back for the game. So we will see if anything does happen, or if it's just too early. We don't want him to come back too early and break down, because he's got a bit iffy hamstrings. But is a lad called the lad who stepped in is a lad called Othman Mama, who is playing on the left, but he can play anywhere across that sort of second front three in a 4-2-3-1, if you like. Off the right and off the left, he's got a number of assists and goals. He's only 20, and he came back from we signed him. He didn't really get any game time. He went off to the Under-20 World Cup and won the player of the tournament, and Morocco, who he represents, also won it. And you go, okay, Under-21 World Cup. That particular award has been won by Maradona. It's been won by Messi. It's been the South American teams tend to put a lot of stock in youth football and put their future stars properly in there. And he has been excellent. He's been really, really good. So, yeah, we have a number of players who can show up. The final one, who again might play through the middle because of the AFCON, we've lost a young lad called Dumbia, who's busy sitting on Marley's bench. Is a lad called Iran Kunda, Nestor Iran Kunda. He's Australian, or naturalized Australian. I think his family came from Tanzania. And he started the season like a house on fire. You will probably seen a couple of free kicks that he put in, which were excellent. But again, hugely technical, really kind of wizard. Was playing at Bayern B. Prior to that was at Adelaide in the A League, and now he can be really, really something. Got pace to burn, so that might be more problem. I think he looks better as a second forward. So those are the players that can effectively go forwards and have the bullets loaded by Loser, hopefully.
Cole, one that I want to mention to you is Nampalys Mendy at Watford. Obviously, signed for you lot in the summer.
Who?
What's been your what's honestly been your thoughts on Nampalys Mendy?
Not really seen him, bud. To be honest with you,
has he not played?
Not really. No, he's a player that's been brought in that it should be playing, and we're being told that we've got a huge squad. And certain players are getting in, and Pete just mentioned one there, who I'm not going to name because otherwise I'll be called out on it probably, but who shouldn't be playing for the football club currently at the moment. And you've got players like that have come in and are not getting a chance. But yeah, I really like the thought of him playing for Watford. Let's put it that way. I'm sure he'll do very well. That's
They
probably
were
the
all
best way.
they were all right at Leicester, weren't they, Steve Mendy? Was you surprised, Steve, that he left? Because I thought he should have probably got a lot more game time than he got. Obviously, he did have a couple of injuries, didn't he, in his time at Leicester? How would you really have summed up Mendy's time at Leicester, Steve?
Not really given the chances. I would say I'm not surprised he left because, let's be honest, he was not going to get ahead of Yuri Tillemans and Ndidi and people like that. So, but I don't think he was given the right chances at the club anyway. But I think him leaving on a free transfer made sense because why would you offer him a deal when he's not going to play? And he was injured quite a lot. So,
he came on for 5 minutes last week. Which was the first game he had, first game time he'd had under Grazia. Wow. Grazia simply doesn't seem to fancy him very much. So
there's a lot, doesn't it, about managers and not fancying players. It's like Carranza, isn't it, Steve, at Leicester? Not fancy.
Well, he's terrible anyway. So
well brought him in, yeah,
I think he's a player that's coming to us that probably would be playing more if our transfer situation wasn't quite the way it was. And also the fact that our injuries are generally diabolical this time of year, and they've pretty much held up. Chekadadze's been out for a long time. We've got obviously AFCONs now, which is now kicking in. So I would expect to see him maybe a little bit in the new year, but so far, like Pete says, 5 minutes, and that's been it.
But that was also against Stoke. In the last 5 minutes, they were down 1-0. And what did we do? We brought on 5'6" Nablus Mendy to help us head the ball away. Yeah,
it's unbelievable. I mean, we've had a player go to the AFCON in Dakar and scored yesterday, and then about broke his fucking neck. I don't know if you've seen all the social media tweets on it of him scoring for Zambia yesterday, and bloody went to a backflip and landed on his head. And then
didn't laugh, but sorry.
It's basically the meme of the tournament so far in the AFCON. So not that it's against you.
It's a very small trophy to win, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's enjoyable with like the crowd and that, because they like to enjoy themselves, don't they? But the football's probably not the ideal to what you'd expect. No. Steve, Leicester.
Oh, do we have to?
Well, we've got to talk about it. We spoke about Watford. Talk to me about Leicester and Mortis if we enter, Steve. We ended up beating Derby. We drew to Bristol City, beat Ipswich, and then got absolutely torn apart at QPR. What's been your thoughts, Steve, on Leicester in heading into this game against the Hornets? Do you think we'll be stung or
inconsistent? We've gone in the last 6 games 3 times. We've been 3-0 down at half time, if not 4-0 at the weekend as well. So not great. Let's be honest. It's a very shocking statistic. Marty is, I would say, he's out of his depth at Leicester. I don't think he's commanding the dressing room as much as he can. But then again, he's got surrounded by a lot of gutless players that clearly don't want to be at the club. So, how much blame can you really lay at his feet when, the club is on its arse and it has been for a number of years? So, yeah, in all honesty, I don't know what Leicester will turn up at the weekend or on Friday. It could be, we could win 3, 4, 5. I don't think 5, but, or we'll be 4-0 down at half time and the stadium will be empty. So, there's no in-betweens. There's never a boring game at Leicester, is there?
No, there ain't a bloody boring game. We can be bloody depressing, though, can't they? You look at the QPR game, got absolutely battered, peppered for the first half. They scored 4 and then second half took it down a notch. Watford will obviously look at these games, what they just in with Leicester at home, that they have got weaknesses. We like to have our bellies tickled and that. And you've obviously got players like Loser who can really dictate the game and create that sort of space and chances for Watford to really get in at Leicester. What's your sort of point as a Watford fan looking at Leicester this season with the amount of inconsistency in where we are in the table at the minute?
Well, I just look at our own inconsistency. We haven't kept many clean sheets. I think the last one, our last game, we kept a clean sheet. Before that, I can't remember the last time. We always seem to concede first. Boxing Day, we're always terrible. You're going to win. Thank you. Next.
Well, our Boxing Day, our Boxing Day record ain't great, is it, Steve? Was it 5 wins in 25?
Yeah, it's not a nice time to be. Festive period is always shit for Leicester.
Is that where you're at? A 20% win rate? Is
20% win rate, yeah.
I still don't fancy us. You're still going to beat us, to be honest. We're so inconsistent. We are inconsistent. And, as I say, up until the last game against Stoke, we were conceding first. We hadn't kept a clean sheet for a very long time. We're just, I don't know. I wish I could say, look, we're going to turn up. We're going to do this. We just don't know. It's a mystery with Watford. It really is.
We're the same at Leicester, aren't we, Steve? You're obviously looking at Leicester. Obviously got a good record against Watford, but then Sheffield United had a poor record against Leicester. And what was it, 2007, Steve? Their last one against Leicester at King Power. But then this season came and turned us over in what? 15 minutes. So, yep. What do you sort of see, Steve? Obviously against Watford, they go into this game 4 unbeaten. Every team seems to want to fancy Leicester. I know we come on these match previews and we talk to opposition fans. It's like, yeah, Leicester are just going to beat us, aren't they? But then it's never always the case, is it, Steve? When we look at the Foxes this season.
No, I say we're really inconsistent. It depends on who turns up. If the players think, fuck it, let's put right what we did at the weekend, then, we'll get a performance. But there's no guarantees, but there's never a guarantee in football anyway. So, I'll be honest, I take a draw because, that's how depressing it's got for us at the moment, that at any point is better than no point. And if we get a points deduction, you need as many as you can get before you get sort of drop down into that relegation area. So, but look, the fans will turn up. I don't think it'll be a sellout. I think there'll be a lot of empty seats on Boxing Day for the first time in a long time. And then it will just be a case of keeping it tight. Hopefully we don't concede early, which we have a tendency to do. I saw a stat on Monday. I think we conceded like 7 goals in the first 15 minutes in a game this season. And then we've conceded 6 goals in the second half, within the first 10 minutes of the second half.
We can probably beat that, so I think you're okay. I think we probably conceded more in the first few minutes of a match than you have. So
I love that this is basically, let's out-depress ourselves.
The way we just talk about each other's teams, it's just like, well, you can do this, but we can do better.
I'm not as depressive about it as Justin is in terms of. So, but the points he makes, they're not false. They're absolutely right. Yeah. However, there's a flip side to every coin, So yeah, we have conceded the first goal in, I think it is 16 games so far this season. So that talk about giving yourself an uphill climb every single time. However, we are top of the league for most points gained from losing positions. And you go, oh, well, that sounds good. Well, no, really what it means is you're crap at the start, but you improve. In terms of the consistency happens in various areas. We will finish the game stronger than we start is the most typical thing we tend to see. The reason we don't really have a lot of goal scoring going on as much as we might like to have is that we have pretty young, inexperienced forwards. So we've got a lad called Luca Kiermgaard, who's done well. He's got 8 goals so far this season. He's doing all right, but he's having to learn what the championship means when he's got his back to goal. That's not really his game. He's a 6'4" forward who knows where to be in the box. Being 6'4" doesn't really matter at that point, but he's got some with his head. He's doing all right. He's okay. One of our other forwards is a 19-year-old, and he is at the lads, John Barnes, Luther Blissett, Ordini. I always get everybody to say it excluding those 3 because they are always. Mamadou Doumbia is away with AFCON. We've only got one other full-time proper forward, and that's a guy called Vivaldo Semedo, who is, he's really taking his first steps in senior football. So we've got inexperienced, but we've got enthusiastic forwards. We've got, as mentioned earlier on, Iran Kunda, who can maybe come in and help. If the Watford that turns up is the defensive stalwarts that we did against Stoke, and we've got a lad at the back called Matty Pollock, who is Jamie Pollock's son, if anybody remembers him from his dad from the 90s. And he's a proper leader. He's a proper warrior to go at it. And we don't see enough of that. But we can play nice football. However, whilst we've got these more points from losing positions, we've only won one game away since February. So the away from Watford is still an issue. We thought we were going to get to 2 against Wrexham, and in the 93rd minute set piece, we buckled and it ended 2-2. So we're not. There's things that we look nice at, and I've had a lot of people who've looked at me very oddly when I turn around and go, "We're really good at this, except defending and attacking." And I know it sounds absolutely stupid, but we did this against Coventry. We went up to Coventry, absolutely outplayed them. Played them off the pitch for the first 45 minutes, came in 3-0 down and down to 10 men because we look great in terms of the build-up, but you haven't quite got the razor-like kind of finish up front. And if Matty Pollock's off his game, or if it's one of the others in there, it can sometimes be a little bit bad. So we have that same thing that Steve mentioned there, which is inconsistency.
So you've won one game since February away from home?
Away from
Derby home. Away. That was
Derby,
it.
Derby, yeah.
You can always trust Derby to come up with 3 points for us. God bless them.
We got 3 points there as well, so we can both high five on that one.
It's a badge of dishonour, clearly.
Steve, unfortunately, in recent times, our beloved club, there's been far too much goodwill to opposing teams, is what Leicester fans put here. The festive fixture January leading to a very blue Christmas for Leicester City. Would you agree with that statement?
Well, yeah, you pointed out the stat earlier that we'd won like 5 in 25 games. So, the festive period has always been terrible. And you and I are both match going home and away fans. I love the festive period because I love traveling all over the country and getting battered. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Liverpool last year, we had that awful Ipswich game where they got was it the penalty or the free kick that shouldn't have been a free kick? We should have had one. They should have had a player sent off. We were through on goal and anyway. So yeah, I'd like us to pick up some points. I said that we'll probably get 4 points from the next 4 games. That's being optimistic rather than pessimistic. I would probably say we'll get 3 points out of the next 4 games. But I found that if I bet against the team, they turn up. But if I bet for the team, they don't turn up. So, but I have gone for a 2-1 Leicester win on Friday, which means that you're going to win 2-1 yourself. So
not a chance.
We have a little sort of thing on our prediction show where all of us pick 2-1. Whenever Watford are playing, it's always a 2-1, whether it's a home winner or an away win.
Rich loves a goodie, Steve Watford.
Yeah. I think the last 8 or 9 predictions he's made has been a 2-1, either a Watford win or Watford defeat. So it's become a little thing.
2-1. Okay. I can't remember the last time. When did we have a 2-1? I can't remember.
Oh, well, I mean, I remember when we last kept a clean sheet, which you can remember, which was against Middlesbrough. We beat them 3-0. We do tend to do better against the good sides. And I appreciate your being self-deprecating, but in the championship side, I think we would class you as that. And the team sometimes, and I'm sure you've seen it as well, when they can raise themselves for what's considered to be a big game, but we haven't done it against the it's awful to say, but the lower echelons we've struggled. Yep. 2-1 would be Oxford United. We beat them 2-1 for sure.
There you go.
By the way, in answer to the question that came up as to who is Watford's best player, it has to be John Barnes. John Barnes, in terms of just using the word best, John Barnes was simply ridiculous. Having a player of his capability for 6 years playing for Watford, that would never happen. He'd be away, and that would be done. Luther Blissett, obviously the most historic, and Troy Deeney. I think I'm on a Leicester podcast, and I just don't think I should mention his name again.
You shouldn't do that. And John Barnes, I didn't get to meet until so I went to an open day to meet John Barnes. I've told this story before, and I went, "Where's John?" And they went, "He signed for Liverpool." And I went, "Okay." Heartbreaking. Didn't get to meet him. I didn't meet him until 2022, I think it was.
That was the start of of Justin's depressing stage with Watford, and it happened in about 1988, and he's not actually recovered yet. So
I'm not over it. I'm not over it. No, I'm still not over that. No.
I like it. Also, sorry, in the comments. I'm sorry, I'm sitting there looking at the comments. So when you do this, you kind of, and there's Peter from Melbourne, Australia, and he says, "This week I will be in Watford to watch in the local pub." And he's from Melbourne. He's come all the way. The game is in Leicester. He's got as far as Watford. It really does feel like
it's only about another hour and 15 minutes.
He's basically avoiding Leicester, just like, I can't be watching that again, not after
QPR. Well, he'll be able to get a ticket if he wants to sit in the home end, because there won't be Leicester fans.
He's coming to Watford, go and watch it in a pub. Well done, Pete. You're most welcome to enjoy Watford.
Pete, you're in the wrong place, mate. It's at Leicester, not Watford. I think when I was talking to Pete during the week before the QPR game, he's like, "Well, I'm going to sit with the QPR fans. I can get a ticket in the away end." And then he said that game didn't go well, did it? I was thinking, Pete, you've not really had a great journey, have you, mate? After watching that, but to sit there watching it in a pub in Watford, who Leicester's going to be taking on this weekend.
I suppose it depends which pub he's going to be in on Boxing Day in Watford. It does depend, because there's some I would say okay, and others I'd say no. So we need to know which pub it is, and then I'll say yes or no.
So on what you were saying there about
was my dinner, so we need to wrap up in a sec, chaps. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah. So what you were just really quickly on what you were saying about John Barnes stuff, it's like with Leicester, like Jamie Vardy is obviously our greatest ever player, but a lot of people would say that Riyad Mahrez is the most talented player we've ever had at the football club. So it's that weird sort of like, well, yeah, Vardy's incredible, but Mahrez on his day, like,
Oh, now this is where I get back to being really, really pedantic and say the wording of the question was best player, greatest player. You're going to be hard pushed to argue on that statistic against Luther Blissett. Nobody would say that he hasn't, because he has won the most appearances and the most goals, and it's pretty hard to argue against that. And as I say, I may say that Troy Deeney would be the modern equivalent, but I'm on a Leicester podcast, so I won't say that. That's fine.
It's all right. You say what you want, and we're not going to ban you again. It's all right.
Again? Have we been banned?
We'll just prove for a future reference.
My reputation precedes me. I've been banned here before I got here.
I banned you before because I knew you mentioned Deeney. I wouldn't want to. Justin didn't tell you the fine details just before. Talking about Jamie Vardy, did always love a goal against Watford. A shame he got it.
He did, yes.
Always. I think it was Arsenal and Watford were his best goal scoring teams against Vardy. And he always loved playing at Vicarage Road, and obviously winding you lot up at the King Power. And
all the way through that period of time, your Vardy era. And I appreciate, I'm going to say this, and everybody's going to say, well, every team says that. We're one of them. We needed somebody who got pace, and we needed somebody who'd got dominance at the back. And we went for years and years and years with nobody at the back who would be able to possibly stay with Vardy for pace in his pomp, And so the sight of him going in behind the back four, running in one-on-one, was just like, kind of like, oh, grief. Yeah, it was like you watching a Sky, sports advert talking about "do not scratch your eyes," that kind of thing. Here he goes. Oh yeah, he scored. There you go, done. No, wow. hell of a player, and a lovely thing that it shows. And I appreciate it's all kind of fairy tale and stuff, but for me, it's not just the end of it; it's the fact that he came through at Fleetwood. At the league, he was on the bench for the for the game that we celebrate that moment for. Next to Harry Kane. So to come through from that with the club and through adversity, and then race through and do what you did. Yeah, fair play, guys. Fair play. Enjoy.
It's very much the Roy the Rovers moment, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
It's incredible, and like I will never it's going to be on my dying day. I'm going to look back and be like, I witnessed that. I witnessed that growth from that player, and he'll be the one that I'll think about before my wife, obviously, but other than her, anybody's
thinking about bloke.
I'm just looking up under Wikipedia the definition of out of hand. It's you going, and my wife, obviously, but
yeah. Luckily, she's not here right now, but
Justin, have you got to go?
Mate, my dinner's here. I've just said the buzzer go. It's
Right.
yeah. My Just Eat is here, so I do have to go. I'm afraid.
Right.
Yes. Sorry, chaps.
We'll just carry on with Pete for about 10 minutes, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
We'll give you your chance to give us your prediction then.
We're going to lose. Thanks. Good night. See ya. Gonna have your dinner.
Justin is head of optimism for Do Not Scratch Your Eyes, by the way. In
I
case
am.
anybody wondered.
It's Boxing Day. Anyone who knows me knows I hate Boxing Day football. Mate, I hate Boxing Day football. I don't enjoy it. You've just had your Christmas Day. You go and watch football, you lose. I mean, Fulham 5-0, Tottenham 4-0, 4-1, was it, Pete, when we're under Graham Taylor? I can't remember. Anyway, it was absolutely appalling. We're not going to do very well. You're going to win. Good luck to you. Enjoy the rest of the season, and we'll see you when you come to Vicarage Road. Thank you very much. Good night.
There we go. Simple as that. Thanks, Justin.
It's a good job you got Justin on a good day, because if he was depressing, crikey, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Let's have a look. Actually, foot in both camps. Steve, there's not 40, mate. There's only about 15 on this. So
I still think you should narrow down to 5. The 5 best people. You know,
right.
15.
Right. So Trevor Benjamin, Tricky Trev, Hamza Chowdhury, played for both, who currently still Leicester's vice captain. Steve, James Chambers, Tom Cleverley, we've obviously mentioned. Danny Drinkwater played for both.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, that's not a great list so far from the Watford side, I have to say.
Well, Lloyd Dyer.
The theme continues.
Fair enough. Ben Hamer.
Subkeeper had a little run, did all right, but nobody lost sweat when he left.
Kevin Phillips is on there as well.
Kevin Phillips came through at Watford. We signed him for 10 grand from Bulldog.
What a player, Kevin. I mean, we had him at the back of his career, and they call him that man for a reason, because he knew where the goal was. You'd always rely on that guy for a goal, and he'd always achieve it.
Well, we signed him, and we had Glenn Roeder as manager before Graham Taylor came back to our club in the second time. And anybody who doesn't know, Graham Taylor for Watford is like Alex Ferguson and Matt Busby in 2 separate periods for United. But the problem was we got Kevin Phillips. Everybody could see how good he was. Everybody could see how alive the stadium came when he got on the ball at the time, and how devastating he was at finishing. The problem was when GT came back, he was injured. And when his contract was kind of winding down, he didn't really appreciate what it was. And so he ended up going for about 300,000 to Sunderland, and then scoring about a gazillion goals and winning the Golden Boot and everything else. And we all knew how good he was, but he just kind of made a change. In fairness, Graham Taylor brought us back up again, 2 divisions once more, and everybody was happy. But yeah, he's always been that one that got away. Kev Phillips, definitely. Hamza Chowdhury's very, very well liked, but I think he was limited for us. Played in central midfield, would win the ball back and then immediately give it away by not actually passing it back. So he became this sort of vicious circle of win it back, give it away, win it back, give it away all the time. But a thoroughly likable player, I think.
You can buy him offers in January if you want, Hamza.
Yeah, maybe not.
All right, fair enough.
I think the money could be sent elsewhere.
Jordan Stewart played for both teams.
Yeah, good. He and James Chambers were the fullbacks when we got promoted in the playoffs in 2006 under Adi Boothroyd, and we played away at Cardiff. And James Chambers got the most painfully slow goal ever. Yeah. It would be excruciating. Were I a Leeds fan, I'm not, so it's not. So that's fine.
Then we've got Mola Wagyu.
Oh, crikey.
Mola Wagyu, yeah.
Yeah, we had him for about 45 minutes, I think.
Was his only goal against Leicester?
Yeah. Oh, he must have played probably about.
I remember the game when we'd lost the game. And did Albrighton score for us that day? It might have been Albrighton. But I remember Wagyu scored. I think it were a corner he scored from.
Yeah, I think that was a 2-1.
Yeah. I remember the goal from the set piece.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he got injured for Leicester. Was it the Millwall game, Steve? He got injured in that FA Cup game. Wagyu, or Wagai is it?
I mean, I barely remember him playing for Leicester, so
Yeah. Evening, Dawn. Two managers I'm going to mention: Claudio Ranieri and Nigel Pearson. Obviously, good servants for Leicester. What about Watford?
Claudio Ranieri, friend of the owner Gino Pozzo, came in. Absolute waste of time. Complete waste of time. That particular season, we were on 7 points. I think he got one win away at Everton where we beat them 5-2 in his second game. Other than that, absolutely nothing. Nigel Pearson couldn't speak highly enough of. He nearly kept us up in ridiculous fashion, for which Watford has now become fully known. Was fired with 2 games to go, which we duly lost and went down. No, he was great. He was a galvanising force. He was a lovely guy. Met him. He's got the world's biggest forearms. I have to say that was an odd thing. And sitting there going, "Yes, I'll shake your arm."
Is it true fell out with the owner?
Everybody falls out with the owner at some stage. There was a couple of like apocryphal stories. His last game we lost 3-1, but it was 3-0 down at half time to West Ham, and we had basically our last 3 games were West Ham. Then we got Man City at home, and Man City just gub us left, right, and centre. We'd be able to land a glove on some people, but Man City never. And Arsenal away. So really, we needed to go and get that. And within 15 minutes, we were 3-0 down. There was an apocryphal rumour that there had been a violent altercation. This did not happen with a left back at the time. And we know this because we asked Troy Deeney, and he went, "Yeah, no, you'd have seen it. He'd have, but we played awfully at that particular game. It wasn't his fault. He'd done so much. We had if you remember Liverpool when they were the unbeaten run that they were on, we ended it. We beat them 3-0 at our place, and it was a shoeing. Basically, we did them properly. We beat Man United, we beat Aston Villa 3-0, we beat Wolves 3-1, I think it was. We really got on a run, and unfortunately for Nigel, we beat that Liverpool team 3-0. We lost 1-0 at Palace, and it was just as COVID was hitting, and we found out 3 of the players, and including Nigel as well, was down with COVID. And when it came back to Operation Restart, we just didn't work. So it didn't happen, unfortunately. But Nigel Pearson, very, very well remembered by most Watford fans.
Let's have a look at a couple of stats. So Leicester haven't kept a clean sheet in 16 matches against Watford in the last 16, winning 5 straight against Watford in the previous. Unbeaten in 7 with Watford, winning 6, drawing 1. Watford's record at Leicester, well, they'll look to break that at the weekend, break the little duck that they're on with the Foxes. Pete, what about the team? What do you reckon? Do you reckon he'll change much to it? I'm not going to mention the players' names because they're too long to sort of pronounce.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Petzolano, and Justin sort of kind of skirted over him a bit. He was a lunatic, basically. And he would regularly swap 5 or 6 players every single game. Watford have always recruited a lot of managers, normally to solve the problem they caused by appointing the previous one.
Yeah.
And with Grazia, they've done that because he will try to retain the same team and the same shape if he possibly can. So no, I don't think we'll see a huge number of changes from what we had in the last game, because of course that was the first one that was AFCON affected. So I think we'll probably go with a 4-2-3-1. It'll if you blink, it'll look like a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1. It's close as, but due to the fact that we've literally only got 2 centre forwards, I don't think you'll go a flat out 4-4-2 and see that. So no, I think we would probably go with Egil Selvik in goal, Norwegian international keeper on occasions. Right back will be Jeremy Ngakia, who's done very, very well this season.
Good forward.
Yeah, he's been injury prone since we bought him from West Ham again 5 years ago. And I don't think that's allowed him to see his best form. This year he's been injury free, and he's looked fantastic. He's done really well getting forward as well, which is most unexpected. Mark Boller on the left, formerly of Middlesbrough. And I imagine we'll probably go with Matty Pollock and Max Elaine. Max Elaine is a quite polished from the Man City stable on loan.
Yeah.
Matty Pollock is, go back and look at every 1980s centre back you used to have in the top 2 English divisions, and you've got Matty Pollock there. Hector Cipriano, who people will remember for scoring a blinding goal for Peterborough against Birmingham in the Virtue final last season. He's come in, he's done okay. He's on that difficult second album in the Championship, having stepped up a gear. Loser is class apart. I imagine Marmer will start on the left. Probably it'll be an interesting one. We might even have Tom Ince on the right, who's probably the one senior player at the club who's done himself no harm in recent time, and probably Chak Fatadze in behind Luka Kiramgar, and then we'll probably see, as I say, Nestori Irankunda coming on, because he's got out and out pace to burn. He can play literally anywhere around the place, and if he can get his early form and confidence back from the start of the season, it'll be really something to see.
Steve, Leicester. What do you reckon? Vestergaard's a doubt, obviously. Ben Nelson and Coley at the back.
It might be Nelson and Fass at this point. I don't think Okoli will be fit enough to start. I think he'll be on the bench. You're probably likely to see Monga coming in for Mavididi and Ramsey coming in for Dikoda, and that's about it. I don't think there would be any more changes.
I mean, I'd take that, to be fair. I don't know about Louis Page, maybe.
I think Ramsey, now he's fit, he'll be the one starting.
Jordan, are you up front?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Carranza's going to be nowhere near, is he? Let's be fair. Score prediction then, Pete. What you got, mate, for this one? I know Justin didn't really give us a score. He was like, well, we're just going to lose an asset. Yeah, well.
I think we would take a draw. We have only lost one game in the last 10. But a lot of them have been draws. You can decide whether or not that's glass half full or empty.
I thought we were a draw specialist, to be honest.
Yeah. I think you guys must surely get some kind of reaction, because that would have also stung your manager going back to his former club and having his arse handed to him. So I imagine that there would be a response to that. I think Fatawu is exceptional potentially. I mean, he really does look. And I appreciate on occasions he might flatter, etc. All those players do. I'll go for a 1-1.
1-1.
We won't keep a clean sheet, I doubt, and I'm probably going half with my head and half with my heart. I'll be very pleased to take a point away from King Power.
Lovely stuff, Pete. Thanks for coming on, mate. Before I let you go, shout out the podcast, mate, and let everybody know where they can find you. Yeah,
for that very strange Venn diagram for people who are Leicester fans, but want to find out how Watford are doing badly. Yes, we're the more, I suppose, what's the phrase? Irreverent Watford podcast. We don't take things too seriously, and it's DNSYE_podcast on Twitter and on YouTube. And basically, we just cover the club and do, just hey, we've got it for our lot, you've got it for your lot. That's what we do.
Lovely stuff. Cheers, Pete. All the best, mate. Merry Christmas. Have a good one. And not so quite good on Boxing Day, mate. Anyway, cheers, pal.
We'll see. Take care now. Cheers now.
That's it then, Steve. I've gone 2-1. You've gone 2-1. As we've now covered the last match preview before Boxing Day. Big game. They need a reaction, Steve. And will we get one, or will it go on to get another bloody pickle? Will it only be the turkey that gets stuffed this Christmas, or will it be Leicester City as well? Well, it remains to be seen on Boxing Day. But everyone have a great Christmas from everyone at the final whistle. And yeah, it's been a good year. We've created a lot of content. Steve, me, Dan, Reese, Clibbo, everyone who comes on the channel. Appreciate everybody for the support as well. So have a good one. Any last comments, Steve?
No, just wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you for allowing me, Jack, and everybody else to give my opinions on Leicester City for the last few months. It's been a roller coaster, but I appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate everyone that's tuning in and watching the show.
Everyone go check out the championship predictions. Well, there was only 2 of us this week. Rich pulled out, and he went for dinner with his wife, as he was still managing to watch us somehow and comment and do whatever he wanted to do. But there was only 2 of us. Go and check out the championship prediction for everyone who's not watched it. Go and check it out. 55 likes on that one. For this one, I'll tell you what, we'll put 35 likes on this one. So if we can hit 35 likes, fantastic. Cheers, everyone. Merry Christmas. Have a great one. and us out.